Welcome back to the Witch's Way podcast. I'm Kat, and this is episode 52 of the Witch's Way. I did change it. I was like, I want us to start saying this episode.
Our number?
Okay. This is episode 52 of the Witch's Way podcast.
All right.
And this is...
And I'm Janie. And tonight we are talking about plant magic. And specifically, we're honing in on plants that are three things: protection, power, and peace. And I was just feeling this way, you guys. So I thought we would talk about, we're going to go through 5 common, very accessible plants, herbs that you can use for protection, power, and peace.
Okay, let's get to it.
There's a nomenclature. Is that what it's called, nomenclature? There's a little like asterisk thing for the notes.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about this for protection, power, and peace, but note number 1. These plants have many more uses besides protection,
Absolutely.
power,
They always
and peace.
do.
Yeah, like listing many things.
And we're actually going to call these plants your allies.
These are plant allies, yes.
Because you're going to use them for protection, peace, or power.
Absolutely.
In spells.
Yes.
Okay. Very common, easy, accessible. All of these have many uses in magic, not just one. When choosing your plant, here's a really important point to make. When choosing your plant allies, do it on intuition and intention. So what you need for your spell, and then just whatever you're guided, whatever you feel, whatever you're guided to choose.
Because if you look at, I probably should have had the book out, or at least told you guys, if you look at the Cunningham's Magical Herbs book, in the back of it, it has this great section where it's like plants for blah, 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 like whatever. And it lists each thing that it's for. It could be, even raising the dead. I think there's one for raising the dead. It has like at least 10 plants underneath of it. So say a spell calls for something, that is when you can go to that little chart in the back and go, oh, okay, well, I'm not really connected with, say, larkspur, and I want to get something else. So then you go in there and you can be like, all these other plants are also used for that purpose. The one reason why I love that book. The list in the back that is
so let's repeat the name of that book slowly so people, witches, in case they haven't heard of it. New Witches. The book is Cunningham's
Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs.
I'm like,
what happened?
I think I got a gnat in my lipstick.
No, let me see.
Do you have hair?
You don't. I see nothing but your, nothing but your
Maybe
lips.
it's a mustache hair.
Don't say that. Oh, fuck. We're getting into mustache hair.
That's not true. I don't really have any, do it? Just kidding. Okay, back to work. Let's see.
The first plant that we're going to talk about.
First plant.
Okay.
One of our favorites.
Personal favorite. It works for so many things. It has such rich history and lore, is rosemary. I love rosemary. Like,
Every witch should grow rosemary. And here, I think, anyway.
I love that. I've never heard you say something so bold.
Yeah, I think every witch should grow rosemary. But here's a tip for you. If you try to grow it, it may take a couple of times until you figure out like what kind of pot it likes and what kind of light and where it needs to be or whatever. Because I have killed several rosemary plants.
I have also killed rosemary plants.
Which makes me so sad. But I now have 2 plants. I finally got them in the right place in my yard.
Yeah.
They're happy there, and they're probably 2 feet tall now, and I'm so excited because you have the biggest rosemary.
I have a massive rosemary
bush. The biggest rosemary bush I've ever seen in my life, and it is so beautiful. Anyway,
I do want to say that later we're going to talk about more on like growing them and stuff, just a little bit, just some tips, because I do grow so many plants. I felt like that would be helpful for you guys.
I did not know the name of this.
The rosemary, I know, isn't it beautiful?
Dew of the sea?
Yes.
Dew of the sea.
Dew of the sea, like DEW.
Yeah,
dew, like morning dew of the sea.
Oh.
And the reason why, so I've added in origin names, and I've added in like historical lore, but then also romantic lore. And romantic lore is more about where after the historical lore happened, we've got the romanticized lore where people started adding it to like, oh, did you know this was from the goddess? And I like the romantic lore a lot, but the historical lore often alludes to its actual medicinal properties. I think both can be really important. You don't have to memorize them, but sometimes I feel like that helps with understanding their properties. So what is it that the one thing witches complain about when we're looking at all of our fucking associations, because that's the hardest part of witchcraft, right? Somebody says, oh, I've got carnelian. You're like, oh yeah, what is that stone used for? Oh, I'm growing mugwort. Oh, what is that herb used for?
Yeah.
We have to try to remember all this shit.
Yeah.
I think when you get to know a plant, you know its origin, you know where it's from, you know like why it's named that way, you know a lore about it, a story. It's easy because you can consider it a friend, an ally. That's why we chose plant allies. Yeah.
Yes, I love that.
So its meaning, the name's meaning is dew of the sea.
Dew of the sea.
And that has to do with, because of its origin.
I love that. Because it thrives in salty sea air and on coastal cliffs.
That's right. Where is it native to?
The Mediterranean.
Yeah. So when you think about that environment, and that's what rosemary grows well in, when you want to grow your own rosemary, you have to consider that. Like, oh, okay, what part of my yard or house can I make most like the Mediterranean climate? Best way to say it, you know?
So it's going to need sun and not water.
Not a lot of water.
Not a lot of water.
It likes mist. And it can actually handle some salt.
Not a lot of water.
I'm not saying add salty water to it.
I think that's how I killed mine, overwatering.
They hate soggy roots. They really do. They grow in rocky soil really well because rocky soil does not hold water.
Yeah.
So like when I lived in South Carolina, that's clay soil.
Yeah.
You would plant a rosemary and never touch it because the soil is already moist and heavy. Like if you did try to water it, you would kill it because we had a
You could grow it in the clay soil though?
Yeah, we had a massive rosemary bush outside of one of my houses that they would shape into the Christmas tree shape.
This says you can even grow it in. You've got it's a perennial in zone 8 and 10.
Yeah. So perennial means that it grows year round.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it can exist year round in zones 8 through 10. But it can also be grown for
our witches that are in the colder climates in the northern parts. It can also be grown there.
Put it in a pot and bring it indoors if you live in like zones, 3, 4, and 5, which are really north. But it can handle some cold, but it cannot handle water. And I don't know, because the name is Dew of the Sea. It literally has 2 water words in its name, but it doesn't like water. So
maybe that's because it's already got enough.
It has essential oils in it. It's such a heavy oil plant, like it creates its own. Yeah. So I don't think that they mean like Dew of the Sea is from it needing water and being by ocean and like thinking of water.
No, it's almost like mist, right? I mean, the dew of the sea would be the mist of the sea.
It's this, because the moment you touch it, you can smell it. Yes. It's so fragrant. I think that that's what it is. It's like mist of the sea, dew of the sea, because the moment you're anywhere near it, you're like, I smell the ocean. It's like, oh no, I smell the rosemary. The wind blows in my yard and sometimes I'm like, is that my rosemary plant? Did I accidentally brush up against it? You could just smell it all the time. It's
if you don't know rosemary, you want to know rosemary. So let's talk a little bit about the lore.
The lore.
Ancient Greek scholars wore rosemary garlands to sharpen their minds.
They did.
In the Middle Ages, it was burned in sick rooms to keep away plague and evil airs.
So that's the protection part of it, right? Because we're naming peace, protection, and power. Mm-hmm. So each of these stories gives you the association.
Yep. And then witches place rosemary above doors and under pillows to ward off nightmares and unwanted visitors.
I have dried rosemary on the back of my door so that I don't get unwanted visitors. And since I took it down, I had 2 different police officers show up with things that had nothing to do with me, but I was like, that is really weird. My rosemary off my door.
Wow.
Yeah, because it was from last year, and I was like, I'm going to refresh it. Yeah. And then I didn't cut new things and hang it on the back of my door. I need to do that.
So you talk about the romanticized lore.
Listen, the romanticized one, and this is more what I go with. And in our witch school, these are the stories that I tell because I just think that they align more with... Most herbs have a goddess story, and I love that. I love thinking about that it's associated with a goddess. Yeah. So rosemary is... It is
associated with the.
Thank you. The word associated just
associated with the. Go ahead.
The goddess Aphrodite.
Aphrodite.
So when Aphrodite emerged from the sea, we're seeing the connections here, right? When Aphrodite emerged from the sea, she was adorned with a rosemary crown, and that was why. That's what they say, and that's how you can see the overlap of dew of the sea. Aphrodite was from the sea. She was wearing rosemary, so the association with Aphrodite and rosemary, that's where you get like love and peace and protection, like all the things the goddess imbues, rosemary now imbues too. And that's how they thought about, because she was wearing it, now that plant is like granted access to the powers of love, protection, and purification. But we were mostly looking at protection for this one. Yeah. I love rosemary. I would have rosemary everywhere. I just planted 2 rosemaries in the spring, and they both died over the summer.
Oh,
I don't know why. Yeah, both of them by my door. I've had the
that's
hardest
right.
time getting things to grow right by my door. I don't know.
You do,
yeah,
don't you?
I do. I've tried. This is the second set of rosemaries that I've tried to grow, and I'm like, they're just not happy there. I have amended my soil. I have watered them. I have not watered them.
I wonder what's going on there. Maybe
I think it's moles. I think they get in there and dig under. I have frogs too, so when they burrow under,
they weren't in pots. They were in the ground.
No, they're in the ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So when you have garden creatures, because we don't spray or try to kill anything, they burrow under where it's cool, and then they expose the little roots, and then it can't handle that. Like little roots are tender; they can't be exposed to air; they die. So. I don't know. Blame it on the frogs. Blame it on my toads that are my garden friends.
So don't give up on rosemary if you try to grow it, because we've failed, both of us, as you can hear from our stories.
Several times, yeah.
Have killed rosemary plants, but once you get them, you find the right spot for them, and the conditions and all that. They do thrive, they're very low care. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah, I haven't touched my rosemary for years.
You don't do anything. You just let them go.
And you can trim them, and they love to be trimmed. So you've got just a plant that produces so much. They don't mind it at all. It's amazing.
Our next plant is lavender, which I've also tried to grow, and I had it going really well. And then I think we got a big flood, and where it was, the water sat. And it killed it.
Yeah.
So, but lavender
also doesn't like wet roots, and it doesn't like super high heat, like Florida heat.
So lavender is a plant for peace and spirit calming. The origin name means to wash.
To wash.
Because Romans used it in baths for cleanliness and relaxation. We still use lavender today for relaxation, like the tea that I have. It's like, here, relaxing lavender tea.
Yeah. When we get into the romanticized lore, that's where that comes from, the relaxation part. Yeah, I love it.
It's also native to the Mediterranean and the Middle East and India. So here
what's that climate? That's dry.
That's dry.
That's dry
and
heat.
Hot.
Near water, but still dry, hot, rocky. Not a lot of rainfall. Yeah.
Yep. Arid. I would say.
Sure.
Arid, yeah.
Mountain.
In the U.S., this is going to grow. It's hardy in zones 5 through 9.
Yeah.
And then that depends on the variety, because there's like English lavender and other kinds of lavender.
They have. Well, there's French lavender, English lavender, and then something that they call Mexican lavender, which I don't think is the true name. That's the one they sell in Florida a lot. Is Mexican lavender.
Yeah, Mexican lavender. Yeah,
it has like the broad leaves. It looks
I've seen that.
different, but it still has the purple flowers on top.
Yeah,
still smells the same.
Yeah.
So there's also different varieties, just like there's different varieties of rosemary, which we didn't say, but different varieties of lavender. Try them, and lavender seeds actually sprout quite well. It's keeping them alive after they sprout that I've had a problem with.
Yeah, and so I just want to share something with you that I have learned after being in Florida. In Kansas City, I wasn't a big grower. I mean, I did get some flowers finally growing in the front, and I had like 8-foot-tall sunflowers, which was really beautiful. But anyway, that was my the last couple of years I was there, I finally started trying to grow flowers. But then I came to Florida and had to relearn everything.
Because you're a totally different grow zone.
Yeah, totally different. And I wanted to grow because you got light here and rain here all the time, and not cold, not 6 months of cold like you do in Kansas City.
Yeah.
But one thing I would tell you is that if you're looking for plants in your area, find a native plant store, because they're going to have plants
1,000%.
that are for your climate, for your area, for your
region.
Soil, everything.
Yeah.
So a native plant store, I think that's been my saving grace in terms of getting shit to grow in my yard. Is I don't buy things from Lowe's and Home Depot anymore. No. I go to the native plant store.
Absolutely. If you can find a native plant store, they're going to help you 1,000 times better and more, and assist you. Now, I will say the plants are slightly more expensive, but that's because they're specific to that area, and no big growers want to actually grow them and then put them on the shelves, because people are like, I don't know what that plant is. It's like, we don't even know our native plants.
The big growers grow for the masses.
They do.
And they ship all over the country. So
they do.
I'm not trying to slam Lowe's and Home Depot, who I'm sure has a thriving business in selling plants, but I've had a lot of stuff die. By
Costa Farms.
I've had a lot of stuff die there. So anyway, that's just a tip for you to see if you have. I would imagine that most areas have a native plant store, native native plants.
Every state has native, and it doesn't mean that it's going to be close to you. It could be an hour away, because Kat and I drive 45 minutes to our favorite native plant store. Yeah. But going there, we know we're getting the things that are going to grow. It's like, I mean, our lantana, I put it in the ground and I never water it, and it's just like boom.
I bought so
Imagine
many
you don't have
lantanas
to-
at the big box stores,
Yeah.
and they all died. And now I have 2 from the native store.
And they thrive without a lot of
and
care.
and they're growing.
Because it's their native
I'm so
environment.
excited.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about the
do-
lore.
I know. So the lore of lavender in medieval Europe, it used to be tucked into linens and clothes to keep the moths away. So that's the protective part of it. With lavender, it's like it can
Yeah.
actually keep things away because it is so heavily scented. It's beautiful. It's also loved by fairies, which goes into the romantic. I want Kat to read the romantic lore.
God.
I love it so much.
So this is known as the dreamer's herb.
The dreamer's herb.
romanticized lore about lavender is it's the dreamer's herb. Okay, so here's the story of that. A woodland nymph named Syringa loved peace above all else. She wanted a way to calm quarrels among the forest creatures. Oh,
I know. I love that. She's like, everybody be at peace in the forest. I'm like,
She
that's all I want.
infused a hardy, sun-loving plant with her gentle magic, turning its plain blossoms to a soft purple and giving it a scent so soothing that it could ease even the angriest heart.
I love that. Easing angry hearts. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
When you think of lavender as being an easing for angry hearts,
Yeah.
it's protection against turmoil.
I mean,
It's a
I just think,
calm.
like, if you're not growing it, drink it.
lavender
drink tea,
teas,
lavender
yeah.
tea. I mean, when you think
lavender
about that-
cookies, lavender milk. There's like lavender goes into a lot of things that it's not mainstream yet. In Europe, I feel like it's more mainstream. You can find so many things that are lavender flavored, lavender added to it, lavender scones. Oh my gosh, so good.
The plant spread until it became known among humans as lavender, and a bringer of tranquility and sweet dreams. I love
right.
that. So if you can remember the story of lavender, then you'll know what to
Trying
do with
to
it.
create calm in the forest.
Yeah.
So that's the peace part of it as well.
Yeah.
The protection side would be like to protect yourself from angry households, to protect yourself from like outbursts of energy, right? Keep it all calm.
Yeah.
So the next herb that we're going to talk about is one that I have had zero success with. I'm going to openly
I've
admit
never
that.
even bought this herb
You
before.
can't buy it here.
Oh.
Nobody sells mugwort.
It's in all kinds of spell.
It has a magical name. Mugwort does.
Yeah.
And it's actually closely related to herbs that have hallucinogenic effects.
Oh.
So, woodworms and things. But with mugwort, it's a really common herb that we've used for so long. It's actually a weed. Like, it grows wild in places. We could probably find it here in Florida wild, but nobody will ever sell it because nobody makes their own medicines anymore. Nobody has a use for it. It's not necessarily something you
I don't even
eat.
know what it looks like. I wish I had a picture, but
Oh, I'm so sorry.
that's okay.
It kind of looks like catnip.
Oh,
You remember what catnip kind of looks
Yeah,
like? Yeah.
yeah.
It kind of looks like catnip.
Okay. So no flowers on mugwort.
Every herb will flower for seeds.
Okay.
But it's not something that you necessarily, not like lavender.
Not like lavender.
Lavender is at its peak when it flowers, and rosemary will have the white flowers up top, but it's not really what they're known for.
Right.
I guess lavender is really known for its flowers. Truly.
Lavender is definitely known for
its purple flowers.
For its purple flowers, yeah.
Yeah, mugwort is not. It is it's a leafy green plant that is sort of soft. It reminds me of catnip as far as its textures and its leaves and everything. But it is in a lot of stuff. It has a very magical name, and it smells very earthy. I think it smells like dense forest. That's the best way to describe it. When it's dried. So I've bought a ton of dried mugwort, but I've not been able to grow it. It grows better in colder areas. Like, its zones are zone 3 through 9. Like, it's a cold herb, kind of. But we can grow it here. It just needs to be kept watered and out of the sun because it's more delicate.
Okay.
But yeah, it's native to... Oh, I didn't go through its origin name.
Yep, go through
So
origin.
what's interesting, like I said, catnip, so it has this, like, fragrance. The name actually means, like, insect and root. So it's, like, insect repellent and root. And it made me think of citronella, of course, because that's...
Mugwort?
Mugwort, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's an English word meaning midge or insect. So a midge over there is like a mosquito, a midge.
Oh, okay.
And so that's the insect, a biting insect that, like, swarms.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures.
It's like a gnat.
It's like it's like an army
It's
of
like a
gnats.
but
no, they bite. Midges bite.
Oh, like
Yeah.
no-see-ums.
Like no-see-ums,
Yeah.
yeah. Maybe a midge is like a no-see-um, more than a mosquito.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
But then it's repelled. This plant repels them, and so it's like the root and the stalk of it. So that's the other part of it, mug and wort. So that's where its name comes from. It's native to Europe and Asia and North Africa, but it is literally naturalized worldwide now because people have used it for so many things. That's why I said you can find it growing in Florida sometimes. Like we have a mugwort version here, and there are different kinds of mugwort, believe it or not, because they adapt and overcome.
And this is for protection and power. Okay.
For protection and
I know
power,
I've seen it in a lot of spell books. I know I've seen a lot of spells that called for mugwort.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's that?
It has a lot of different associations, but...
So let's talk about the lore. I'll talk about the lore. Roman soldiers, am I in the right place? Yeah, mugwort. Yeah, because we did Roman soldiers in another one.
That's because lore is historical. So, like, this is the way that people used it that actually, medicinally. This lore is medicinal lore. Maybe I should have wrote it that way.
So Roman soldiers placed mugwort in their sandals to prevent fatigue.
Yep.
This is a life force power.
Energetic.
Life force energetic power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like the power part of it is that it like stops fatigue. It invigorates.
Ah,
yeah.
Witches prized it for its dream work. Placing it under the pillow was said to protect the soul during astral travel and guard against harmful magic.
Mm-hmm. Little mugwort. So with the romanticized lore, this is actually called the moon's herb. And I love that, right?
I love these names. I'm just going to rename all the plants with their romanticized name.
That would have happened, through stories and stuff. Everybody would have had their own name for it until we started writing books and putting pictures and saying, nope, that's what this is called. And we could have called this anything else.
AKA, also known as.
So... in the folk traditions, here's where we give it associations with goddesses. This is associated with the goddess Artemis. Do you know Artemis?
I thought that was a dude.
Artemis?
Yeah.
I love you. Artemis.
Maybe I'm thinking of Artemis from the Wild Wild West. Maybe that's
Is that from a movie and it's a guy?
Yeah, it was a guy, Artemis. Yeah, I think that's where I made that association. Wild Wild West. If anybody as old as me, you probably remember that.
She is a huntress, Artemis.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
She's the Greek goddess of the moon and the protector of women. Now you can never unknow that.
I'll never unknow that.
Artemis. Yeah. She was supposedly. Artemis was gifted mugwort to humans to keep travelers safe and to guide dreams. So this is it was handed over by the goddess of the night, of the moon. That's why it's called the moon's herb.
I see.
It has a silvery underside, so that's why I think of it like catnip, because the top side is like nice and green, like really pretty green, like the color of our chair is green. And then when you flip it over, it does look silvery. Like my buttonwoods, that silvery kind of color. Very pretty. So the silvery underside was said to carry the moon's reflection, linking it to like psychic vision and protection at night.
I just love these little stories.
Yes.
It's so
it's
cute.
a better way to learn your herbs rather than trying to remember a list.
Yeah, absolutely.
Remember it with a story. Like the goddess Artemis gifted me this plant so I could have protection traveling at night because it's got the moon's reflection on the underside of the leaf.
Yes, and what the dream part is,
and the
intrigues
dreams
me
part.
too.
So when you think about travel, it's like travel physically in our world or travel astrally out of our body, in our spirit, in the dream world. Yeah.
So exciting. Okay, our next herb.
Our next plant ally.
Yes. And herb. Basil, which I love for protection and prosperity. The origin of this name comes from the Greeks, and it means king, possibly for its royal aroma and flavor. Mm-hmm. Who doesn't love basil? I love basil.
I love basil. We have 1,000 basil plants growing.
It's the origins of it. It's from tropical regions of of Africa and Southeast Asia. In the United States, it grows in all zones as an annual plant, which means you got to plant it every year, or a perennial, which means you can leave it out there all year in frost-free zones 10 through 11. So we could grow it here.
We're 10 A, B / like
you grow lots of.
I have lots of different kinds of it.
I've had it growing.
Yeah.
But when I try to grow it in a pot, it doesn't like it.
I have a very unique basil. It is called bubblegum basil.
Oh my
goodness! And it
goodness.
literally smells like bubblegum when you rub the leaves. The bubblegum basil. It's crazy.
I must experience
this.
So
bubblegum basil, Thai basil, pineapple basil.
She's never shared her bubblegum basil with me before.
It's so rare. It's so fair. I've never taken you to my garden and be like, smell this?
No, I don't. Where is it?
One seedling right now. It's on my path in the butterfly garden.
Okay.
It's
all right.
the seed jumped out of the box, so it's actually growing on the path, like between a stone.
Nice.
And that's what it likes.
I'm going to be checking it out the next time I'm over at Jamie's house. I got to smell
Bubblegum basil.
this. I got to know. I got to
It literally
experience.
smells like bubblegum.
I got to experience it
like
for
the
myself.
pink bubblegum, the old bubblegum, like the original bubblegum flavor. Yes.
So the lore behind this plant ally. In Italian folk magic, basil's health was seen as an omen of a woman's readiness for love.
Basil and love go together. And I like this because Italian food. And you think of like the home of Italian. Yes, okay. That's always been my connection with basil.
Yeah. In Greece, pots of basil by the door kept away misfortune. And in many cultures, basil was planted to deflect the evil eye and ensure abundance in the home.
That's right. That's why it's a prosperity plant. That's why they're like, stick a basil leaf in your wallet. It's a prosperity plant. So the romanticized lore, which I absolutely love this. Okay, I envision this. And when I did the video for basil for Witch School, like I put basil on my face for this to give imagery. Okay, so I don't have that tonight. I probably should have done that. But it's called the tear of Venus. This is the herb that is called the tear of Venus. And the romantic lore around this is how basil first grew when the goddess Venus was crying over one of her loves that died on the battlefield. And so it was like, I imagine her crying out basil leaves, that fragrant smell. Basil leaves are very delicate too. Like you can squish them and turn them into nothing pretty fast. So it is a delicate herb, you know.
Yeah.
The stalks can grow very woody and be solid, but the leaves itself, like imagine them as little tears. They're not. I mean, they're ovalish, but they're not quite teardrop shaped.
Yeah.
But the image of that of the goddess Venus, like weeping fucking basil leaves. Like what? I don't even know. That's crazy.
I love it.
So its intense fragrance was believed to be the scent of her passion and her grief. So I thought that was really neat too. Like it's because the moment you touch basil, it's everywhere in the air, right?
Yes,
so it's like super fragrant. So that's what gives it its protective and love and prosperity is like that. This was the tears of a goddess for love and grief. You know, I love it. That's the lore of basil. The tears of Venus.
The tears of Venus, the romanticized
The
lore.
romanticized version. So the last herb that we're going to talk about is yarrow, another herb that I have yet to grow in my yard. Grows wild.
I have to admit, I do not know what this looks like or
Very
what it
pretty
is.
plant. Do you know Queen Anne's lace?
I've seen pictures. Wait, I've seen pictures of yarrow.
You've seen
from,
yeah,
I have. Yeah, I know Queen Anne's lace. It was all over Kansas City, everywhere.
I love Queen Anne's
It
lace.
grew all over the side of the road there. It was kind of like a weed
like
would take over.
Exactly. These
Yeah.
are, Mom, you fucking nail on the hammer, on the nail head, whatever they say. Yes, all of these are
hit the
considered.
nail on the head.
You hit the nail on the head?
the nail
What?
on the
There's no
head.
hammer in the words? And
You
okay.
hit the nail on the head. Well, it's assumed that you have a hammer, but yeah.
You hit the nail on the head with that
Yeah.
because a lot of these herbs have been dismissed now as weeds like dandelions and gotten rid of them, and they actually have so many medicinal uses that it's sad that we are like prizing fucking grass over growing herbs and gardens.
Well, we're not.
That's another conversation, but yes. Yarrow will grow as a weed, technically, and you can
Okay.
find it all over. Its Latin name comes from Achilles, like Achilles'
The
heel.
Achilles heel?
The Achilles heel, who, according to legend, used to heal. Okay,
Used it to heal a soldier's wounds.
heal, not your foot heel, but
But
heal.
heal, like make well.
So Achilles' heel was his heel, and you got heal, like make people better, medicine wise. Love it. Fucking words. Sometimes they're hard. So it's the name. I cannot say the actual Latin name. I'm not even going to try. But it means 1,000 leaves, because when you see yarrow, I actually think of it as like a million flowers. It's all these tiny little like rosette pink. I have pink yarrow. Like I said, that I've not successfully grown. I've started seeds and I don't know what the fuck happens. But
Okay.
it's all these pink leaves, and it kind of has the shape of a Queen Anne's lace, where it's like the flat flower with like a lot of little tiny flowers, and it brooms up like that. And then all the leaves on it. So
Okay.
it's a very tall weed if you come across it.
Okay.
With pink
So one
flowers.
thing I don't think we said when we I think Jamie missed. This is for power and healing.
Oh, I did miss
and
that.
battle, and that which makes sense because of the name of his origin has to do with with Achilles
And
the
healing
hero,
soldiers.
and healing soldiers,
Wounds,
and
yeah.
from battle and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
there's a connection to make if you're trying to remember,
Yeah.
some of this. Like if you can remember the stories, like you said, I think it's easier
Yeah.
than being like, what's that for?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yarrow
so
heals.
the origins of this, it's native to temperate regions in the northern hemisphere, especially Europe and Asia.
Mm-hmm.
And in the United States, as Jamie already mentioned, it likes to be colder. So zones 3 through 8.
3 through 9.
3 through 9, I'm sorry.
So that's like mid Florida for us.
Yeah.
We're
we're 10.
We're 10.
Yeah.
We can sometimes have years where we've got some 9 zones, but
Yeah.
we're mostly 10 because we got a lot of heat
We're
here.
subtropic.
Sure.
Subtropical. Okay.
So the historical lore, because I'll let you do the romantic lore since I did the last romantic lore.
What happened?
Why did it finish?
I have no idea. Is it a stream? Oh my God, you got to be kidding me. Did that just
Lord.
fucking end?
It ended.
What the hell?
What? Why was that? That's. I don't understand.
Streaming software. Do we have that on the other ones?
No. Uno momento. We're gonna go back into this because how can we not have a video for this?
Plant Magic 2. So you're going to piece them together?
I'm gonna have to. Like, it
Oh,
doesn't
wow.
make any fucking
Sorry.
sense.
We have a technical difficulty.
Why did
One
that
moment, please,
happen?
while we fix that.
It's telling us that we gotta be ready for the Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Coming live.
We're waiting for New Heights tonight.
That's right. New
We have
Heights
15
tonight.
minutes.
Oh,
We have
shite.
11 minutes to wrap it up.
Barely. Okay.
Just-
That was
is-
super weird. I don't know why it would have ended at all.
Okay, I don't either. That's very strange.
Very strange. Now, what's going to happen with this?
That's going to keep going. So the people that are listening to this on Spotify are just going to hear us talking about not see anything. We're trying to fix our videos because we post our podcast to YouTube.
Okay.
So we're just going to try to make this work because we're at the end of this.
We're literally, like, the
at the
last
end. So we're
thing.
going to try to make
What
it work.
the hell?
Okay, so let's.
Pardon that interruption. For some
Yeah.
reason, YouTube just crashed
Yeah.
on us, and we had to.
Well, this
Fucking
little
make an
little
exception.
monkey's on our screen with a hammer saying something went wrong, and he's been there for days. So we're wondering what's
We
going on.
don't know what is happening.
Okay,
with
so
that.
for lore, it was used in the Trojan War to staunch bleeding.
It was, yes.
It was hung over cradles to guard infants from harm.
It was. It's because it has protective properties, right?
Right, and in witchcraft is known for both physical protection and the courage it lends to the spirit.
Yes, yarrow. Yarrow is also another one mentioned in books a lot, I think. I
Yeah,
feel
I think so
like.
too. Yeah, in spells.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
We gotta get the
Sorry.
thing right.
All right, romanticized
The
lore.
romanticized lore. I was gonna flip it and let you do the romanticized,
Okay,
but
so this one is known as the wedding herb.
the wedding herb.
Now, why is that? The folk version says yarrow blooms whenever two lovers pledge their troth under a full moon.
My betrothed.
Oh.
Yeah.
In some European wedding traditions, yarrow was placed in bouquets to ensure 7 years of passion.
I love it. 7. Just 7 lucky years of passion. So when we think about yarrow being that power herb, right, to amplify things, I love the idea. Okay, it reminds me of Mel Gibson. Oh my God, what's the one? Scottish.
Women Want?
No, the Scottish.
Oh,
fucking
Braveheart.
Braveheart. Thank you. Remember how they got married in like at midnight, like under the full moon in the
I
middle
don't
of.
remember that movie. I haven't watched it in 30
Braveheart.
years, I bet.
love it. Well, their little love story, because then she's like, she's murdered like the next day. But the way that they go get married in secret by a priest in like moonlight where nobody else is around, like that's what you do when you've got so much love and passion. There's power behind that because you would do anything to protect it. And that's the scene that actually makes me think of yarrow, is like that's where yarrow grew, right there in Scotland, even though I don't know, I'm sure it
Okay.
grows in Scotland, but where two people became trothed.
I love it.
Trothed, yes.
So here's some simple practices. Bake to use these these 5 plant allies or herbs.
I don't know that they're all edible. I can't lie. I mean, basil, rosemary.
Yeah, that's true. Not
I don't
all
know
of them.
yarrow, and I don't know mugwort actually, because those are 2 I don't grow. But the other 3, I know lavender and basil and.
So bake with them in breads, cookies, or potatoes.
Yeah.
Rosemary I've made rosemary bread. It was
rosemary bread, rosemary potatoes.
Was so
Love
good.
it.
Yeah, rosemary with carrots.
Lavender and cookies is one of my favorite things. Lavender cookies are amazing with lavender icing.
Bundle them. So, herbs for smoke cleansing. Also, you don't have to burn them. You can just have bundles of them in glass jars. You have them that have lasted 6 years?
6 years. I have a bundle from North Carolina because it was an amazing store, and it had like mountain blackberry. It's like all these things bundled in there. I was like, I'm not burning that. That's too special.
Yeah, and you know what the other thing is? Like, you can make really beautiful bundles.
Yes.
With different colors of thread, like embroidery thread, and with flowers in them. And just beautiful. I've seen some really beautiful.
And remember, they're a representation. You don't have to burn them. Like it can signify the thing without being actually used.
You can also create charm jars. So with herbs for intention, keeping them airtight. Keeping airtight jars of herbs is a good way to use them without using them up.
Yes.
AKA burning.
Yeah.
You can also loosely hang them around your house.
Yeah, like my rosemary. I have a lavender in a really small little jar that's like a tiny, with the fucking seal on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's from my wedding from 6 years ago. How many years have I been married? 6?
7?
7?
Yeah.
I don't remember. But I keep that in our love gua, that lavender. And when you open it, it still smells amazing. It's 7 years later. It's insane. I love it. So the next part was I put in is making a living shield. When you're ready to grow, buy seeds and just start growing stuff. Just start figuring out where it grows best. Figure out the lighting. Figure out the water. Figure out the pot that it likes. If it doesn't like a lot of water, use a pot that isn't coated in paint or that's more of a terracotta.
Yeah, the terracotta pots. The terracotta pots are good for plants that don't like water,
so that would
because
be
they dry
rosemary
out.
And lavender. Yeah, it's because then you can't soak the roots and you can't drown it.
Yeah,
but start trying to grow your herbs indoors, or if you have outdoor space, try to grow them outdoor and just figure out what works. And start with seeds. Seeds are so much cheaper than buying the plant. So you get 100 seeds for like $3. You have 100 tries there that you can do. That's why I say I'm such a seed procurer. I love it. Putting plants by your front door if you can. I've tried. It's too hot. My house faces east. It won't work. The morning sun bakes everything. But I've tried to plant them just outside the front door.
Yeah.
It's not working yet. I'll let you know. I'm 4 years in on this. We'll fucking figure it out. They grow for a little bit. But I have this thing, like, if at first you don't succeed, try and try again.
Yeah, I've finally adopted the, I'm going to try it, and if it doesn't grow, I'll try it again.
Yeah.
So, because when I first got here and was trying to grow stuff, I would be like, oh my God, my plant died. And I would be upset about it. And then I was just like, fuck it. Yeah, there must have been something that I needed to learn from that, so I just kept trying.
Mm-hmm. You'll eventually find the happy place for your plant.
You will find
your plant
it.
will let you know I'm happy here or I'm not happy here.
For sure.
It will absolutely.
For sure.
So peace in our craft isn't just the quiet moments, you guys, because we're going to do our sign off now.
Yep.
Okay. But peace in our craft isn't just in the quiet moments. It's in creating spaces where our spirits can truly breathe.
Protection isn't living in fear. It's weaving safety into the very walls around us.
And power isn't about control. It's about knowing you can stand tall, rooted like the herbs in our garden.
May your rosemary stand guard, your lavender bring calm, and your yarrow keep your courage blooming.
Tend to your magic, tend to your garden, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, witches.
Bye, witches.